it's Kristen, and today I will be talking about the jack part of our experiment. No, not that jack part. See, with this one, the bar is a lot shorter than it is on this one, but this one costs a lot more than the short one because these are hydraulic, which means that it requires a lot less force, and now that's not the only reason why it requires a lot less force. So as you can see, with the longer handle you can get a lot more leverage, which then makes it easier. So that way if you were to hold it at, let's say, the base, then it would be a lot more hello? Next card, please. Alright, so sorry about that. Obviously, our card guy does not get paid enough to stay awake on the job, but like I was saying before, it would be more difficult because you would have 3 feet less of your original leverage, which when you have more leverage, you are applying more torque to the object, which in turn requires a lot less force than normally. So, okay, so that was pretty much it for my part. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys learned something from this video. And don't forget about our physics package giveaway. If you comment below your favorite physics equation, you will get a free Newton balls thingy. And don't forget to stay tuned for our next video, which will hopefully not be assigned very soon. But stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys.
You ever want to learn how to change a car tire? Well, this is how. Now, you might be wondering, Enzo, are you in your pajamas? Well, yes, but no, I'm not. Let's go change a car tire. Alright, you might get out of your Jeep one day and be like, man, one side feels lower than the other. Want to know why? Tire's flat. What you want to do is you want to take your jack out of the trunk along with its multiple accessories, and you just want to crank that soldier boy till it starts going up. Okay, so once you get your tire iron and you're tightening them, you just want to tighten them until the wheel starts to turn so that you can lower down the tire, like so. We grab our thingamajig, attach it here to the jack, and just lower it. Okay, stop it. Okay, so now since you get all your lug nuts off, put them in their own place so you don't lose them. You want to raise your jack again so that the wheel gets off the ground. Now, you want to add your tire iron that Jeep gave, which is not the best in the world, but it's the only one that works with this. Like so. Get the hook. And like I said before, crank that soldier boy. Yeah, you can stop now. Okay, so once you start cranking it up and you reach the frame of the car itself, you might, oh man, it's getting kind of hard to do. You're like, I need to add some torque. So boom, you get this little, the tire iron, right? And you attach that to the end of your hook thing. Now, this gives you more leverage, which in turn gives you more torque, making it more easier to turn. Now, theoretically, if you were to have, let's say, a super long tire iron at the end of this, and you had enough ground clearance to crank it, it'd be super easy to do this. You'd have little to no resistance. Okay, now stop it. Same thing can be said about taking your lug nuts off. Now, when you first put it in, right here, you might have some force acting against you, like you do now. So you might want to reposition it till it goes, you know. And then you start turning it. Now that wouldn't be such a big problem, that first encounter of resistance, if you had a longer bar to add more, to give you more torque. So since the first lug nut's out, let me show you something else. Now with this bad boy right here, you nearly double your length of your rod. That helps you crank this out with less force. That's why mechanics use these guys. This is why you see these most common. And now it's got 3 different sizes. And look, see, cut that out. But see, I chose too big of a size. Drop it down one, boom, snug fit. As easy as pie. As easy as pie. Now, the bigger or the more length you have on your tire iron, the less resistance you're gonna have. So theoretically, like I was saying, when you're lifting it, you can have a super long tire iron all the way down the street, and let's say you had enough ground clearance and some way to get to the top of it, you'd break this down in a couple of seconds. So now, since you jacked up your car and your tire is loose, all you gotta do is pick it up, take it off, and throw it straight into the freeway. It's fair game by then. So now let's say, oh, okay, you get your spare tire. Oh wow, my spare. Drag it over here, and you put it lift.
Position of the run.
Alright, since you got your spare back on, eventually, get the lug nuts, and you just put them all in at first, just finger tight. Get the lug nuts, and you just put them all in at first, just finger tight. So now, since you get them all finger tight, you want to start tightening them using whatever wrench you get. I'm just going to use this one because it's a lot easier, since you get more torque with it. But now, since you're putting it back on, you're going to want to put these on tight so it doesn't fall off. Okay, so now since you got your jack out and your wheel is now on the ground and not rolling away, put your jack aside, grab your tire iron, make sure you're on the right size, and then you want to, that's the wrong size, then you just want to make sure they're all tight, you know. Wrong size again. I just want to make sure that they're all tight. And the benefit of using a larger tire is that once they're tight and you can't tighten them anymore, is that they're really tight, because you know it's less difficult with the tire iron to tighten things. That's how you change your tire. Okay, stop recording.